going to hit play. And again, Rachel, if you need any support throughout this, you just holler at me and we'll pause and figure it out, okay?
Should I leave my sound on or no?
That is completely up to you. If you need it on, that way you don't have to take a pause to turn it on if you need to ask me a question.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Yeah.
But okay, here we go, honey.
With props. Today we will be exploring the small ball again, like we did in week 1, along with our 2-pound toning balls, or if you have little hand weights, either will work just fine. We'll get going with those here in just a moment. First thing though we'll do is just a little work for the nervous system to get our body ready, prepped, calm, in a place of homeostasis so that this workout can be the most effective. So with that being said, we're just going to start off with a little breath exercise. So we're going to try to our best inhale for 5 counts and elongate the exhale for 7 counts. We ended our practice from week 1 with this breath work exercise. So on a count of 5, you're going to, well, first of all, exhale all the stale air out of the lower lobes of your lungs. Just let that air exhale out. And then on a count of 5, inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last round. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Second thing that we'll do here is just taking your head and your cervical spine, and you're going to look deeply over one shoulder. Just taking your head and your eye gaze around, and let the eyes really find the corners of the eyeball sockets. And then come back to center. Blink and look at things around the room. Identify them in your mind. And then when you find center again, you blink, blink, blink. To the other direction, take the eyes deeply into the orbital sockets, and then let your head turn and look over the opposite shoulder. Keep looking deeply as you can, almost where you feel a little bit of strain in the eyeball. And then again, blink, looking at things around the room as you come back to center, and then do a blink, blink, blink. Now, leave your head right where it is, but take just the eyes, again, to the very far corners. And here, again, you're looking for, there's going to be just a little hint of strain feeling that you might experience. And then again, blink and look at things around the room as you come to center, and then a blink, blink, blink. Other side, just the eyeballs. The eyeballs only come to, again, the corners of the eyes. Again, feel that little, maybe just a little hint of discomfort. And then again, blink and look at things around the room as you come to center. And again, a blink, blink, blink. One more time now, we take the head with us again. So root that shoulder back that you're rotating away from, so you stay really square. And again, looking around your axis once again, notice if you can look a little further around your center. And then again, blink and look at items, notify them in your mind, just note them, say the word in your brain. Come back to center, blink, blink, blink. One more time, other side. Again, allow the eyes to travel. Maybe root that opposite shoulder back. Maybe you can see something behind you that you couldn't see before. And then again, blink and look at things around the room. As you arrive, back to center, and then blink, blink, blink to reset. Now, hopefully you feel a little bit more open and relaxed through the neck and the traps. This is where we often hold a lot of tension. Okay, so with that being said, we will take a hold of our toning weights and your small ball. You're gonna make your way onto your back. The small ball is just gonna go between the knees to give you a little bit of inner thigh connection. And then the little hand weights, you're actually gonna just let them set down right here at your side, underneath your palms, and then just a little elevation and depression of your scapula bone. Your shoulder blade is your scapula bone, and you're just letting the bone itself just glide up the back of the rib cage, so you're shrugging your shoulders up, and then reach out and long away from your earlobes so your neck is elongated like a turtle coming out of its shell. Shrug the shoulders up and then down. Again, shrug the shoulders up and back down. One more time. Up and down. And then grasp the toning balls. Stack the arms up over the shoulders here. From here, we're going to protract and retract. So you're going to reach, letting the scapula bones separate, and then plug the scapula bones back and down. Again, reach, and then plug the scapula bones back and down. So it's just a small movement. We are trying to exaggerate it as much as we can. Also, though, don't lose your rib cage connection. You want to feel those ribs hugging your internal organs and not popping and flaring away from the mat space. And we'll just do one more time here. Now, it might take a little bit of time to build up the strength because, again, 2 pounds doesn't sound like a whole lot until you put it at the end of your lever, which is our arm, and then it gets really heavy. So, again, it might take a little while to build up to this. So, again, just be very gentle with your shoulder joints. So, from here, we're going to take a breath in, and you're going to take it into your arm scissors. One arm overhead, the other arm down to your side, and then up through center. Inhale. Exhale the opposite direction. Again, inhale, exhale.
And then Rachel, let your palms face each other as you're scissoring here, and it'll help that upper trap not feel so crunchy.
Inhale, exhale. So again, just kind of ease into this. Only let the arm go back over your head as deeply as the range feels good and supportive. You'll probably feel where you get a nice stretch at that end range. So just, again, be very intuitive with this. Only explore the range that feels supportive. And we'll do one more time each side. And then we'll bring both arms up to the ceiling. Now we're going to take the leverage both arms overhead. So again, be gentle with yourself. Explore the range till you know where your edge is, where your comfort is. Overhead and then right back up. Again, keep the ribs connected to the mat space as the arms travel overhead and then float back up. Co-contract. Feel the compression of your low abdomen as well as that lift of your pelvic floor. Use the breath to help you stay connected. And again, 2 more here. Inhale up one more time. Again, at any point, if you need to set the weights down, that is okay. Now we're going to let this feed into our big arm circle. Both arms will come overhead, out and around, and then back up tall. Through the center, we're going to do 5 circles this direction. Again, if the weights are too much, you can make your circle smaller so it's more like an oval, or you can set the weights down at any time. And around. One last. Keep using your breath. And up. We reverse it. Inhale, Exhale as the arms travel overhead and back up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Just 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. One last. And up and around. And again, just set the weights down at your side waist just a moment, just to give the shoulders a little rest. We're going to do one more thing that really explores the rib cage and the shoulder girdle together. We just want to give those shoulder joints a moment to settle. So what we're going to do here is, again, bring the arms up and then allow the arms to float back and overhead. Again, the weights are optional here. Now, do exactly the opposite of what I said earlier. Flare the ribs intentionally, and then exhale, close and anchor them with the arms staying overhead. Inhale, flare intentionally, exhale, anchor the ribs. Inhale, exhale. Just 2 more. The arms might change location. Exhale. One last. Exhale, float the arms again, back up and down at your sides. Whew, that's a lot. Okay, so you're going to use the weights again in just a moment, but we're going to turn our attention to the low lumbar spine and the abdomen connection. Once again, clarifying, when you're in a neutral spine, you've got a little space here in your low back, versus when you co-contract and shorten the space between your ribs and your hips, it flattens your low back into the mat space. This is often what we call a supported pelvis or imprinted pelvis in lumbar. So just notice the difference between those 2 locations of the pelvic girdle. So we want to move there intentionally from our co-contraction and our ab support, not pushing through the feet and the legs. So you don't want to, you're trying not to use the global muscles of the lower body. Try to use more of these intrinsic layers. So just a few pelvic tilts. Take a breath in. Exhale, co-contract, shorten the space between ribs and hips. Tuck the tail under. Inhale, release back to neutral. Again, exhale, co-contract, shorten the space between ribs and hips. Inhale, back to neutral. Again, exhale, scooping the front of that abdominal wall, and release. Just 2 more times there. Exhale, inhale to release. We'll do one last. Exhale, inhale, and release. Now we're going to start to build that into our bridge. So the bridge work, though, you want to, again, initiate first from that co-contraction space. Also, if you tend to round forward in your shoulders, it's nice sometimes to let your palms face the ceiling here. It helps you feel a little bit more open through the collarbones. So with that being said, rock the tail under, start to curl, peel up just a little bit, just enough that you start to open up the low back and the quads. Soften and melt back down 1 vertebra at a time, especially if you know you tend to trigger in the hamstrings and it feels crampy. This kind of helps you ease into this and tease at it a little bit. Again, tuck the tail, co-contract, push up. Maybe you come up a little bit higher this time. Sip of air at the top, lower it back down and release. Just think of peeling 1 vertebra at a time up away from the velvet. Lifting up. Think of pulling your heels toward your bottom as opposed to pushing out through your feet. Again, exhale, tuck the tail, start to curl, scoop, lift. Maybe you're up at your highest bridge of the day, that's fine. Tuck and curl, rolling it back down and release. Again, rock the tail under through your supported pelvis, peeling it up. Again, think of pulling your hips toward your heels as opposed to pushing out through the balls of the feet. You want to keep that connection in the posterior chain. Soften and melt back down and release. We're going to add the ball, the 2-pound toning balls here. So From here, bring the arms up again to the ceiling. Take a breath. Tuck the tail, press and lift into your bridge. Let the arms come overhead and then soften again back down one vertebra at a time. Float the arms back up. Take a breath. Tuck, curl, press up into your bridge. Keep the heels pulling toward your bottom. Let the arms come overhead and then again soften, melt back down one vertebra at a time. Again, bring the arms back up. Tuck, curl, peel the hips up. Let the arms again slide overhead. Soften, melt it back down one vertebra at a time and release. Again, bring the arms back up. Scoop the front of that abdominal wall, squeezing evenly, pushing evenly through the heels. The arms again slide overhead, soften, melt back down one vertebra. The arms again come up. Last one, tuck the tail, curl, peeling it up. The arms again slide overhead, soften, melt it back down one vertebra at a time. Arms slide back up and then again lower down to your sides. So transitioning, the next thing that we're going to do, you want to take your small ball and you can either, I'm going to put it underneath my right foot to start. You can either leave the foot on top of the ball, right like so, just so that it gives you some feedback, or you can extend the leg out long and let it rest right under your ankle. So those would be your two positions here with the non-moving leg. Then your moving leg, we're going to be doing a one leg circle. So we're stirring the thigh bone in the hip socket. So if you want to keep this is progression 1. Progression 2 would be to lengthen the leg as much as your hamstring might allow. And then again, we're going to bring the arms up to the ceiling. So this looks like a leg exercise. It's really a core exercise, stabilization of your torso. So what we're going to do here in our start position, allow the leg to cross over your midline and then circle around back to the start position. Inhale to cross the midline, exhale to bring it around. Inhale, your circle can be as big as your torso can be stable and your right leg doesn't move. Circle it around. So again, less is more. Cross the midline, let it come around. One more time, cross, let it come around, and we reverse. Let the leg float away. Exhale around. Inhale, exhale, float it around. Again, inhale, exhale, float. Inhale, exhale. One last time. Inhale, exhale. Back to center. Bend that knee and we'll switch to the other side. If you start to feel a lot of fatigue and strain in the hip flexor or the psoas, then just go back to this bent knee position, or maybe you don't have the leg all the way straight. You could do it at a little in between, 45. Just whatever you need to kind of help this move freely. A lot of times too, there'll be like a pop or a click that happens there, so you need to make your range smaller so that that can go away. It'll go away over time generally, but you do have to be very patient with it. Okay, arms again up. Float the leg up toward the ceiling. Now again, we're going to cross the midline first. Inhale, exhale around. Inhale, exhale. Take your time. There's no rush. Inhale, exhale. Really find the time to make that co-contraction happen to support the weight of the leg. 2 more. Inhale, exhale around. One last. Exhale. Back to center, we reverse it. Inhale, exhale the weight of the leg around. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale as you travel. Last 2. letting that thigh bone just stir in the socket. One last, back up tall, soften the knee, rest the foot down. And again, you'll take your ball. This time, make your way up to a seat. The ball's gonna go between the knees. Once again, you're holding onto your toning balls. If at any time the weights are too heavy, you can set them down to the side and build your stamina up to using them. So keep that in mind. Okay, so we're gonna begin here and actually just doing a little pelvic tilt back off your sitting bones and then back up tall. You can kind of use your hands here to kind of pull you up on those sitting bones. And then again, exhale, tuck and round. Undulate yourself back up nice and tall. Again, exhale, rounding it back, squeezing the ball between the knees, and then up nice and tall. Just get a little bit of a deeper flexion. And again, the ball between the knees will help you hold on to that energy between the inner thighs, feeding that on up into the meridian line. So arms will extend, take a breath, squeeze that ball, tuck and round it back. And then one arm at a time floats up and then we lower it down. Other side, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Try to keep that upper trap soft, the neck nice and long. Exhale, everything starts again from that co-contraction space and that supports the arms floating overhead. Good, just one more time each side. Roughly, we're doing 5 on each arm, or a total of 10. Pause here, and then again, just undulate yourself back up nice and tall. Take a breath. Exhale. Adding on, again, a little more single arm situation, but now we take the arm out to the side. Arms lift, sip of air, exhale it back. Right arm travels out just to the edge of your periphery, and then back to center. So it just finds half, like you're finding half of what would be a chest fly in traditional fitness. Again, inhale, let the arm open.
And alternate your sides, Rachel.
Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Feel that opposite side waist have to engage to help you stay nice and neutral, nice and centered, I should say. Just keep your breath moving. If you are off of my breath cueing, that's okay too. Just don't hold your breath. Rest, undulate again yourself up nice and tall. Set your weights down for a second. Pull yourself up again nice and tall on your sitting bones. Let your hip flexors relax a little bit if they're starting to get a little grippy. Okay, so adding again, everything from here on is a progression of what we just did. So if you need to go back and just do one arm at a time, feel free to do so. Again, arms extend. We're gonna exhale to take it back. Both arms travel up for 5. Exhale. Inhale to lower. Exhale. Inhale to lower. Exhale up. 3. Shoulders down, chest open. Eye gaze on the horizon line. One last. Lowering, and then again, undulate yourself back up nice and tall. Big breath in. Exhale. Arms again, back out in front. We round it back. This time, both arms open into that chest fly, back to center. Exhale. Back together. Again, just to the edges of your periphery. Last 2. Back to center. One last. Back to center. And again, undulate yourself back up nice and tall. Again, adding on just a few more progressions. If you would like to, again, you need to go back to the previous version of what we did. That's perfectly fine. So now we're going to add some rotation around our axis. So the arms are going to come up. We're going to exhale again to round back, squeeze the ball. Now you're going to open just one arm, but this time you're going to twist and follow the ball Bring it back to center, other side. Sweep the arm open, follow, back to center, like you're on the horizon line. Exhale. It's rotating around. Exhale. Follow the ball with your eye gaze. Back to center. And again, squeeze the ball between your knees to help you stabilize. Exhale. Like you're being wrung out like a wet towel. One more time each side. Twist. Back to center. One last. Twist. Back to center. And again, undulate yourself. Back up nice and tall. Rest your legs for a moment. Kind of do a little beat between the thighs. We're almost done. I know I keep saying that. Last one, I call it conductor, and it makes us end in symmetry so that both arms are moving and doing the same things. So again, last one here, arms extend, squeeze the ball between the knees, round it back again into your little C curve, both arms. Travel up, lower down, open, and close. Up, lower down, open, and close. Again, exhale, exhale, exhale up, inhale lower, exhale open, inhale close. Last one. And bring the arms back together. Once again, undulate yourself. Back up nice and tall. Okay, now we're going to take the ball and it's actually going to tuck back here behind your low back. So you kind of pinch it into position, and then as you lean into it, it kind of is, it's a bit supportive. So it kind of helps you hold this position. Energize through the legs, all the muscles hugging the skeleton here. And again, you're going to hold onto your weights. I kind of push them together. And then it's a little beat back into the ball. It's really small. It looks like this. So I'm putting the accent back into the ball. So we're going to do that again. We're going to do that 8 times. Yeah, we take a breath in, exhale, and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold that deep C curve, but put a little intention on the up accent. So it looks like this. So I'm trying to increase that flexion. So we'll do that for 8. Here we go. Exhale and 7, 6.
That's it, Rachel. You're doing a great job. Try to keep all the contact of your skin in contact with the ball. And it's like deepening that curve. There you go. But and then make the accent come from more the upper portion of your abs, like right under your sternum bone. There it is.
5,
Yes.
4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Feel that there in your abdomen. Rest
Yeah,
for a second.
It's one of those really tricky ones because it's like a micro movement that's so isolated and specific.
Yeah.
But yeah, you did great. Good job. I got a great picture of your low back into the ball. So good job.
Now we're going to do a similar action, but we're going to add rotation into it. If you need to set the toning balls down, that's fine. So same thing, round back into the ball. Now twist to one side. Again, on a count of 8, we put the accent back into the ball. Here we go. Exhale and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Keep the legs activated. 1. Now put the accent on the up and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center. Come up and rest for a moment. Whew. Big breath in, recover, let yourself settle on that cellular level. Here we go again. holding onto your weights, tucking, rounding into the ball, twist to the other side, put the accent into the ball. 4, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now put the accent coming up and 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to center again. Undulate yourself back up nice and tall. Now we're going to take the ball between the ankles. You can set your toning balls off to the side for a moment, and then you're going to make your way onto your side body. So the ball is between the ankles, and then you can lie down here. If this is uncomfortable for your shoulder, you could get a block or a towel here to support the head. And then you want to stay real active through your side waist muscles. And then the legs are right underneath you here. So you're in one long line. Your top hand can help support you so that you don't feel like you're going to waffle back and forth. But you're going to squeeze the ball and then float both legs up away from the mat. It's not a big movement. Lower down, exhale. Lift both legs away from the mat. And again, exhale, 3. Inhale to lower, exhale to lift, 4. We're going to shoot for 10 here. Exhale, 5, 6. Again, keeping that active left side body or side that's to the mat. Just 3 more here. 3 and 2. Now, on this last one, we're going to lift the legs and hold. Now, squeeze the ball. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Rest for just a moment. Again, we're going to keep this top hand here as a little kickstand to help you stabilize. And then with this next one, we're going to allow the knees to bend and then again straighten back out. So again, we float the legs just to a little hover. Now flex your feet, draw your knees in, and then extend the legs back out. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale out. Inhale, exhale. You can try pointing the toes at the end. Flex, draw it up. Exhale, press and point. Flex, draw it up. Exhale, point. Flex it up. Exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale, rest. And then we'll take that to the other side. Again, the ball is between the ankles. Get yourself into a relatively comfortable position. Right side waist is lifted. Both legs together. Float up. Don't lose your mouse house in the waist. Exhale up, 2. Make sure that you're not dumping into the low back either. So you might have to tuck your tail under just a little bit if your low back has started to take too much tension. And again, exhale, over halfway there. And exhale, and exhale. Last 2. Co-contracting, shoulders down, long neck. We lift the legs, squeeze the ball. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest for a moment. And then we just have that one where we tuck the knees in and then press them back out like we're sitting in a chair. So we'll float the legs and then flex the feet, drag the knees in. Exhale, straighten. Pull the knees in. Exhale, add the point of the toes if that's not too much. Pull in, exhale, press. Flex and pull it in. Exhale, press. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. Last one. Inhale and exhale. Pull it in and rest. Okay, making our way up again to a seat. We're going to use our toning balls again this time. Try to, if you can, orient yourself where you have maybe a little bit of lift under you. Sometimes a yoga block would be helpful here, or a towel. Not necessary, but if you're all the way up like so and you're on the same level, I mean, this could totally work. I have really short arms though. I have a long torso, short arms and legs. If you have really long arms, then you're probably going to hit your floor space a little bit sooner. But either way, we are adapting a little bit of the reformer work to the mat with using the toning balls. Normally we would have our hands in the straps here to be moving the carriage, but this is almost more effective. So again, you've got your toning weights in your hands, and we're just sweeping the arms straight up and then right back down. Exhale to lift the weight of the arms up, just 5 times here. Exhale for 3. Exhale, 4. Shoulders down, chest is open. One more time, hold. Now rotate the palms to face one another. You inhale, again, open to the edges of your periphery, and then exhale to hug a tree. Inhale, exhale, hug a tree. Inhale, exhale from the ribs and your co-contraction to bring the arms back together. One last time, exhale. Now tuck the elbows into your side body, letting the palms or the weights rest in your palms. From here, take a breath in and you're just exhaling. Send the arms again straight out, and then again tuck the elbows right back in. Exhale, extend, tuck the elbows back in. Exhale, 3, pull, and 4. One more time, and back in. Now we combine the last 2 movements into what's called the offering. You exhale the arms out, keep the palms facing the ceiling, open, close, tuck the elbows back in. Exhale, again, out. We open, close, tuck the elbows back in. And again, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Once again, as you move, just keep breathing. If your breath is off of my cueing, that's okay. One more time. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Take a moment. Let that settle down. Again, 2 pounds doesn't sound like a lot until you put it way out here at the end of your lever. Okay, you can rest the toning balls down for just a moment. Again, making your way back onto your back body. And then from here, you're just gonna kind of open the knees. Again, this was in week 1 as well. You can kind of find a goalpost position here with the arms, or just let them kind of be at a long, low V. Allow both knees to fall to one side as you look in the opposite direction. And just letting there be that nice spiral through the body, that coil around your axis. And then float the knees back up as you again look in the opposite direction. Let the weight of the knees fall heavy. Big breath in. Again, go back to the first side. Let the knees float up and drape. Now, if you want a little added support here, take the bottom heel. In my case, it's my right heel on top of my left knee, and then just let the weight of that leg help give me a little extra opening through the hip flexor and the psoas. Big breath in. And then again, gently let that unpack. Float the knees again over to the first or your second side. Look in the opposite direction. Again, if you'd like a little extra, take the bottom ankle on top of the knee and just let that little added leverage give you a little bit more opening, especially after all of that squeezing and work that we did in that seated position. This will kind of help open that hip flexor out. Again, gently unpack that position. Float the knees back up to center. Now you're going to elongate the legs out and you're going to take your arms up and overhead. Now from here, we're going to make a crescent moon shape. So you're going to walk the feet over to one side as well as the shoulders. So you're in my position here, my left side is short. My right side's got a nice big stretch starting to happen. Take your left hand to your right wrist, and then you're going to look toward your right elbow. And then again from there, take your right ankle over your the top of your left, if that feels good. You don't have to do either of those second options. Just the side bend is plenty. But just to, again, really open that right side waist. Breathe. Try to keep your right shoulder blade anchored. Release into it. Surrender into it. Big breath into that right side waist. Exhale. And then gently make your way to the other side. So the feet will walk to the right side. The shoulders will walk to the right side. Take your right hand over your left wrist. Look to your left elbow. Take your left heel and place it on top of your right ankle. And then you're really opening the left side body now. And look into that elbow crease, opening up the left side body. Big breath in, opening that left side waist. And gently let that release. Find yourself again back at center. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock from side to side. And then we're going to finish again with 3 rounds, another 3 rounds of breath work. And this breath work is a lot of times called bumblebee breath. So you're humming the exhale. So you want to take in a big breath. On the exhale, keep your lips closed and big breath in. One last. Big breath in. Just return to your normal breath pattern. And nicely done. That humming breath, that bumblebee breath is really supportive for your nervous system because it's vibrating your vagal nerve. The vagal nerve is the one that is responsible for keeping us balanced and in homeostasis. If you're mobilized or in shutdown, the vagal nerve is what we need to get us back to feeling like ourselves again. So sometimes you might do that you don't even realize it, like when you take a big sigh, or like sometimes it's horse lips, some things like that, or you kind of naturally do those organically. So it's just a really nice, gives it some science to back up why we do things sometimes that we aren't even cognitively aware of. So have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Great job, Rachel. How do you feel?
I feel pretty energized, actually.
Oh, good.
Really
The only thing I missed, and it wasn't worth interrupting, is at the very beginning, whenever you're doing all of the toning ball work with the arms, is you can have the small ball between your knees.
I thought she said something about the toning ball and I didn't hear where it was. So I said it.
And again, it wasn't worth interrupting you. So I was just so you'll catch that in the replay. And then the other one, the thing that I noticed, when your arms are overhead with both weights, it's a lot. I mean, it doesn't sound like it would be, but it's quite a bit. So when your arms are over here and you're doing that rib cage one, you're trying to keep the arms back here, but that can be a heavy load in the shoulder joint.
I felt it for sure. And my right shoulder is a little bit tender anyway. right now. I don't know why. Maybe I got my port out, so maybe like my right shoulder is a little. I felt it in my right that was sore, so I was like, oh, maybe I should step back.
Well, because of that, because the port, because that's going to go through your skin tissue, your fascial layer into your musculature, there could be some healing that's going on right now just from scar tissue and things like that. But this type of work right here will definitely help you get that mobilization back. But by all means, ditch the weights. Your arm weight is plenty. Okay. It's a lot. It's a lot of weight. So again, the weights are just, it's kind of like it's a fun prop, and I enjoy using them, but you can get a lot of value out of the movement without, if you need to work up to it. It is a bit of a stamina situation. But otherwise your movements look really good. Like I said, those are the only two things that I caught, but it wasn't worth interrupting and messing up your vibe. And how's the sound quality on this video? Was it any better than the first?
Yeah, I think it was both. Whenever I went back and you sent me the link, like of the one recorded, when I played just the pre-recorded video, it was louder than during the session. Okay. And mine was only on 75%. I thought I had it all the way up, but I turned that all the way up, so I didn't have any trouble hearing you.
Okay, great. Well, again, Andrea and Carol, when you go back, if you watch the replay of this, couple things. We had a little snafu getting started because we had some pretty wicked storms this morning, and my laptop, I don't know, I hope it's not like fried, but I was like going back and forth all over the house trying to get my computer situation situated, and Rachel was very patient with me. And then but the sound quality, I have those little like boom mics now. They have the little fuzzy thing on the end that'll clip to my collar, so that should definitely help improve the sound quality overall anyway. So it's still really good feedback. It helps me kind of like step up my tech game a little bit. So anyway, if you don't have any questions, that went really well. I'm very pleased. Your form looked great. You did. You moved very thoughtfully and intentionally. The focus of this is not to move as fast as humanly possible, as you can probably tell. And then just to, like you said, feel good in your body and energized at the end.
Yep.
Awesome. Well, I will, again, I got to figure out my computer situation, but I will be sending out this replay as well as just the video all by itself a little bit later this afternoon, so that you have those throughout the week before we see each other again next time.
Okay.
Great job, Rachel.
Okay, thank you.
Good to see you. Great job.
Thanks.
Okay, bye.
Bye.